Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be on this look. It is an exciting video because I'm going to show you guys the relaunch and the repackaging of the Identity palette. So I'll be using the palette to create this look. It's a makeup for brown eyes look, which I feel like back in the day when I first started YouTube, those were the type of videos that you guys loved to watch from me, and I loved to create those types of videos as well. And if you're new and you're like, what is this girl talking about? Hi, I'm Sona. I'm the founder of Persona Cosmetics, and I started this brand almost 4 years ago, and the very first product that we launched with was the Identity palette created to enhance brown eyes. So I specifically made this palette for my brown eyed girls and guys out there because, you know, I started my career as a makeup artist and I used to create my little DIY palettes from individual shadows for my brides, and a lot of my brides had brown eyes. And so, yeah, I feel like the idea came kind of from those videos, from your interest, and from my own passion in creating something that would help enhance brown eyes. So after 3.5 years, we have decided to repackage the palette. So the formula and everything is going to be the same. This is a cult classic for the brand. It's still the best seller. We've sold out over 3 times, both on our site and on Ulta's website. But we just wanted to give it a little makeover, give it a better packaging, better presentation. So I'm so excited, you guys. Without further ado, let's get into the video. I really hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys are excited for the relaunch of the Identity palette. I will have more details and info for you guys in the description box, so be sure to check that out. All right, we're gonna start with the base as usual. I have so many imperfections and so many like breakouts. I don't even know what's going on anymore. But lately, my favorite foundation combination has been the Pat McGrath Skin Finish and the Luminous Silk by Giorgio Armani. The Giorgio Armani has more coverage and the Pat McGrath is a much lighter formula, so together they just look beautiful on the skin and they still provide a nice amount of coverage. So I'm just gonna apply this all over. It took us like 2 hours to set up, by the way, because I forgot a few things at work and then we had to make some trips. Speaking of work, last week was so crazy for us because we finally moved offices, which if you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably have already seen everything. But yes, so we moved offices. It's a much nicer area, much nicer office. Just the whole thing is a nice little upgrade for us. So we're so excited. It was so intense and crazy packing up the old office because we were there for over 3 years, and you know, we accumulated quite a lot of stuff, and so just packing everything and getting rid of things that we didn't need, it was just so much work. My skin is looking a lot better. I'm gonna go in with my NARS Radiant Creamy in Custard. I'm gonna set everything with my Laura Mercier Translucent Powder and just press this. Now I'm gonna bronze and contour a little bit. I haven't used this product in ages. This is the Chanel bronzer, which it's probably expired, to be honest. It's like cracking. So I don't know how safe this is, but let's just give it a go. I just feel like I use the same bronzers over and over again, and I kind of want to change it up, and I remember liking this. Moving on to my coffee, my third cup of coffee. I'm gonna go in with the Persona blush in Georgia. This one's sold out right now, but we are trying our very best to bring it back as soon as possible. I'm just applying my blush on the apples of my cheeks with the blush side of the Power Brush. I'm just gonna fill in the sparse areas of my brows. This is probably my favorite brow pencil at the moment. It's the Dior Brow Styler. This is in the shade Brown, 001 Brown. Moving on to the eyes, and of course I'll be using the brand new repackaged Identity palette. I'll show you guys close-ups here. I'm gonna run my translucent powder all over just to set my eyes a little bit because I feel like it's starting to crease from the concealer. I'm gonna go in with Charming. I'm gonna mix a little bit of Audacious, and I'm just gonna apply that on the crease. This is of course the same exact formula, same shadows, same colors. The only difference is the packaging. So if you guys have the palette, love the formula, it's exactly the same. We didn't change a thing about it except for the packaging. It's so much better. Obviously, it's just like the size of this mirror is everything. I use it so much when I'm getting ready. And it's just a much cleaner presentation, which was a big issue for me with the original palette. With the paper palette, it was very difficult to get a precise drop with the individual shadows. And so there were so many different gaps, and it would just get, the palette would get dirty so fast. It was really difficult to clean. And so with this, it's just so much easier to clean. And of course the packaging is recyclable, so we made sure to keep that in mind when changing it. It's just like more cohesive too with all of our other products, which you know, makes the branding a little bit better as well. So overall, I'm just so happy with it, so excited. Notice I'm just making this pretty thick, and I'm also taking it out towards where my brow ends. When you feather it out a little bit, it kind of just elongates the eye. So I love doing that because it just like pulls the eye up. I think the key with making your brown eyes pop is to stick to tones that are complementary. So you basically want to look at the color wheel and go the opposite of the color you're trying to enhance. So with brown, you want to go with shades like plums and purples. For me, I just absolutely love the fact that there's tones of mauves in these kind of colors, and that's why there's like seductive, bombshell, bossy, chic. So all of these have those tones to really help enhance your brown eyes. So I really wanted to make sure that this palette was still neutral, because obviously when you think of purples and plums, it's not like an everyday thing. So I wanted to make sure that the hues were integrated into more of a neutral family. I'm going to try to create a very similar look to the one that you guys have been requesting on Instagram. I recently posted this photo, and yeah, a lot of people DM'd me wanting to see a like full-on tutorial. For my main lid, I used Goddess and Gold Digger. I mixed it together, so that's what I'm going to do here as well. And I'm just going to apply that all over my eyelids. And then when you get to the crease, you want to make sure you're really blending that. If you want a more metallic finish, you can use a little bit of water, Fix Plus, whatever you have, and just spray it directly on your brush, and you're going to see the difference. It's just a little bit more on the metallic side. So I'm just going to even it out because there's definitely more of a pop on this side than there is on this side. I'm gonna move on to the bottom lash line. So for that, I am gonna pick up a little bit of Chic because I do want a little bit of plum there. And I'm gonna mix it with Charming again. I'm just gonna smudge this. See how there's that plum coming through, but it's so muted, especially mixing it with Charming. I just think it makes it so much more of an everyday color. Keeping it in the plum family, I'm going to go in with my Persona Cosmetics liner in plum. This is again a muted plum. I'm all about my neutrals, you guys know that. So again, I wanted to create a shade that would enhance brown eyes, but that was still very muted and very much a color you can wear every day. So I'm going to apply this on the inner rim. I always say this in almost all my tutorials, but if you have smaller eyes, you can skip this step. I just prefer it. I'm gonna mix Gold Digger with Sassy. Just pop it on the inner corners for a little bit of highlight. I'm gonna curl my lashes and apply some mascara, and I'm using my Laura Mercier lash curler. This has been my favorite lately. It's so good. It kind of just brushes the hair upwards and just combs it so well. I am gonna put some individual lashes a little bit later once it's dry, so I'm gonna move on to my lips first. I'm gonna use my M Cosmetics Soft Blur Velvet Lip Liner in Teddy. I'm gonna mix two Glossier lip products together. This is Leo and Cake. I did go over it with this NARS lip liner as well, just to darken it a bit. So now I'm gonna go ahead and apply some individual lashes. You really don't need to, but this is what I did in my last kind of photo I posted, so I wanted to keep it the same. Just creates more of a wispy effect, which I really like, but it still keeps it super natural. So this is the finished look. As you can see, the lashes just look so natural. I mean, it just adds a lot because it adds that like individual wispy effect, but at the same time, it's still very natural. This is just one of my favorite looks to wear because it's still smoky and sultry, but it's not too crazy. It's still wearable for like a daytime event. So that is it for this tutorial. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I love you guys so much, more than I can even express with words. Thank you for supporting the brand. Thank you for supporting the identity palette. I'd love to know if you guys have the palette or if you plan on getting it, because I want to film more looks, of course, and if you have any specific ideas, let me know. If you want to see like challenges with the palette, or if you want to see more natural looks, dramatic looks, just leave them all in the comments below. I'll be down there hanging out with you guys for the first few hours of the video. But thanks again for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah. Bye guys.